why this is an important topic. And that statement, the next slide is a statement that every speaker has to present, and it gives information about what I've done in the past related to this, and you can take a look at it, read it. Next slide is thoughts about the clinical timing. The early pediatric development was appropriate if mechanism of action and indication are the same in children and adults. And I should tell you at the very beginning here is that prior to this, these laws, pharmaceutical companies would develop a drug for an adult program, and then the prescribers will go into the company's information, and they don't have any they didn't have any information as far as how they are going to dose in various ages of children. So this was called off-label use because there was no label. So anyway, in this situation now, and we'll talk about the laws in a couple of slides, the early pediatric development was appropriate as mechanism of action and indication, I'd say, in children and adults. And so the large majority of pediatric development is following right after adult program. And so, but what happened was that the actual companies did not start it until much later after the drug was being being used in adults. Regulatory discussions should include and begin while adult work is ongoing, and that's what these laws now are going to say, and that the company has to, in order to get some information, they have to utilize, while the drug is still being developed, is starting to be developed in just an adult at this point, then at that time the FDA wants, near the end of that phase 1 area, and because they want to start a discussion very early with the company. The issue is that when you're in that phase, at the end of phase 1, you don't have any information about whether the drug in adults is going to be good safety and has a good therapeutic effect. It's when they get into phase 2 and phase 3 that you find that. Evidence of the safety and efficacy are needed before the pediatric work can begin. So all we're talking about doing at the end of phase 1 is discussing with the FDA, not running studies, but discussing the planning that the company is working on, and then once the adults are getting safety and efficacy data, then that's when clinical work can start. So this is very, very good. factors to consider about whether you want to develop a pediatric indication is from several factors here. What is, you need to check and see what the prevalence and seriousness of the condition is in pediatrics. Is this something that's important in pediatrics? What's the usefulness of the existing treatments that are already on the market for pediatrics? What's the uniqueness of the proposed product? It could be that that there could be other existing treatments, but your product is unique with the others, and so it might be, even though there's other existing treatments out there, the company will still go ahead because they feel that it's going to be an additional support for treating pediatrics. You also, it's very important that the FDA it's very important to them that when you're describing what you're going to do and what the doses are, you have to describe the age range that will be treated. Now, it could be that you've got a number of different age ranges, but each age range has a different dose. The last item is a need for a pediatric formulation. This, I used to think that you had to have a pediatric formulation generated rather than to use one of the units for example, if you have in an adult program, 3 strengths, a 5, a 10, and a 20 milligram tablet, an oral tablet.